Hello there, you beautiful people. My name is Willow, and welcome back to Supreme Commander Forge Alliance Forever, where today we're going to be looking at a 6v6 played on the map Adaptive Ivy Valleys, which I'm not saying again because that was a tongue twister, and it's not like I've recorded this twice. The joys of OBS. Either way, let's get into introducing our players, but before we do that, consider liking and subscribing. And here we go, starting in the top right hand corner, the northeastern corner. Okay, come on, let's reset. We're only like fucking a minute into this and I'm already fucking it all up. Okay, here we go. Starting with our first player, a 1700 rated blue UEF player going by the name of Crusher12321, who has started first land. Let's go ahead and move on to his orange ally to the west, a Seraphim by the name of MSG, who went first land as well. Let's move down to the south to the purple Cybran by the name of Kybran, going first land. And he is going to be rocking it, Kybran the Cybran. I really like that alliteration. Now we're going to move on to the green Seraphim by the name of Kavat, going first land. Going to be strutting that Seraphim comm around this map. Then we have ourselves a pink Cybran by the name of Demon Streamer 666, going first land. After him, and last for Team 1, we have a yellow Seraphim by the name of Pineapples 3. And he has gone first land. Moving on to Team 2, we're going to start in the southwestern corner with the brown Seraphim by the name of Raider, going first land. Then we move north to see his first ally, a dark red Cybran by the name of Kronos, who also went first land. Then we can check on Arcant, the purple Cybran, whose comm is way up in the front. Yes, this is Arcant, the purple Cybran, going first land and out early reclaiming. Then we have ourselves a red Seraphim by the name of Lieutenant General Fluffy, and he is going first land, red Seraphim. Then we have ourselves Naya, the green Seraphim, a lot of Seraphim over here on Team 2, and he has gone first land. Last but not least for the entire game, we have the blue Cybran going by the name of Heya19, and he went first air, the only player to go first air, as he's possibly looking for a drop over here onto the island. Looking at the map as we zoom out, a fuck ton of reclaim, probably started somewhere close to 50,000 reclaim on this map. So that is going to be factoring into a lot of things. The reclaim is jacking up unless I zoom in because there's too many nodes to load, which is a very nice little light show. Kavat and Naya in the middle getting engaged in a bit of combat diplomacy. And we do have these units firing into each other, these two comms. They're both green and they're both Seraphim, so not the best as far as being able to tell who is shooting who and who is winning. But there are some units out from Lieutenant General Fluffy harassing the comm as well, going to be giving a health advantage over to Naya as Lieutenant General Fluffy is coming up from the rear. Does he have any upgrades? No, he does not. I don't believe anybody has started an upgrade just yet. And Kavat is now starting to fall back. He has grabbed up a small amount of reclaim. Let's go ahead and just check in on Kavat's reclaim numbers. Nearly 2,000 reclaim out of that green comm versus his opponent Naya sitting at just over 2,000 reclaim. So these players keeping the reclaim game relatively close. Naya is going to get a bit more of an advantage with the map control that has been given over to him. And he is going to hopefully be able to use that for his team. There was a transport drop out from Heya19 down to this island. He's managed to get up a couple of factories. There's a transport drop also for Demon Streamer 666. He's going to have his own base set up. There's going to be a battle for this island from the looks of it. There's also the comm of Pineapples out over here to kind of try and help with this entire situation, and it looks like it's going to be a relatively successful invasion by this single unit. the commander is going to get here. It's going to be super powerful. There's not going to be much that can shoo it away, except for the fact that Aya has managed to get his own commander over here. You see him emerging from the depths of there in the background just a minute ago. And now these two comms are going to have to shoot at each other. There is an auto gun finished up for the Cybran player, so that's going to ensure his capabilities of staying on this island at least temporarily. We do have these two bouts of water that are very dangerous if you have, especially if you have the missile cruisers. You can get a lot of damage done to the opposing side, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Kybran now being pushed back by Akant, and over here in the middle we have gun speed and range on the way for Kavat. So, is Kybran going to be able to survive this? Kybran falling back. He's being blocked by the mantis of Akant. Kybran and Akant, not a very easy combination of players to call out the names of. 2,000 health and falling, as many units are firing into this comm. I think he will make it into the water, but the question is, can he dodge enough artillery shells to survive? There's not that much artillery coming his way. He's down to 1,000 HP, and he's just now stepping his toes into the water. Needs to get a little bit deeper before he's truly safe, and needs to keep on going. Down to 850 health right before getting into the water. Akant also relatively low on health. Gun speed and range 63% done for Kavat. We have no upgrades on the side of, well, we have T2 for Naya. And I don't see any upgrades on any other players, so that is just going to be the situation for now. The units that were helping to push Kybran off into the water are now pushing into Kybran's base. He's going to have a difficult time dealing with this. He's going to need to be able to he's going to need some support from his allies most likely to get through this, or to start doing what he's doing right now, which is building a bunch of auto guns, which can definitely help out for a little bit until some more artillery shows up. His unit's able to hold off for now, but he's lost a lot of map control, and his opponents are going to be able to abuse the economic advantage they're about to gain. We have a bomber out over here from Kronos, going to be able to use that to get up a few kills on engineers. Looks like he's managed to kill off 3 engineers, or at least 3 units, now up to 4. We'll have to try and keep an eye on that. There's not an ASF at the moment coming to stop him. I believe these ASF, or not an ASF, there's not an interceptor on the way to stop him. These are just patrolling. Oh wait, no, these are his allies. It just looks like they'd be enemy because of how far forward his ally is. Down in the southeast, we can see that Pineapples and Demon Streamer have managed to wrestle control of this island, and it looks like our blue Cybran is going to be relatively alone in this situation. We do have Naya trying to get into the Navy, but it's kind of just Heya against the world right now in this area, with Demon Streamer and Pineapples putting such a focus on this water play. Pineapple's getting quite a bit of territory in the water, grabbing up a lot of these mass extractors. That's going to be important for him. There was a naval factory built up by Naya, but that is going to go down momentarily to the frigate, and there is more naval factories being built as we speak. Over here in the middle, Kavat, with that gun speed and range upgrade, is out here trying to deal with the opposing spam of units. Where is the comms of his opponents? He's relatively low on health. He's down to about 7,000 HP. Arcant could really threaten that comm right now. We also have T2 structures now being thrown up by Naya. Naya's going to be able to build up point defense, and now building a flak to protect himself from any possible snipes. Lieutenant General Fluffy managing to get gun speed and range finished on his comm as well, so this could be very dangerous for Kavat. He is relatively alone over here. There's no comms to help him. The southern team has 3 comms here in the middle versus just him all alone by his lonesome against the world. He did have the help of Kybran, but Kybran is still recovering from that early pressure that pushed him into the water. So yeah, that is definitely an unfortunate situation for the northern team, but let's go ahead and look at the reclaim numbers. Team 1, the northern team, slightly ahead on reclaim by about 2,000 mass, and it looks like they are slightly ahead on the generated eco front, so if they can manage to hold this middle, which is dicey at best with how much pressure is being put onto Kavat, they should get a decent economic lead and be able to abuse it very soon. It's starting to get a bit unmanageable. T2 is done for Kavat now, so Kavat now being a real and present threat to the opponents here in the middle. Lieutenant General Fluffy is showing up with his own gun speed and range comm, and if these units get in and start blocking Kavat from running away, that might be a ejection here. We'll have to see if he manages to survive past the 10-minute mark or not. As the comm opens up into Kavat, that's a lot of HP draining off of the comm of Kavat. He's down to 3,500 health and dropping 3,200, down into the red with 3,000 health remaining. He's going down even faster, down to 2,000 HP, down to 1,000, and he's about to be ejected from the game. I think he's going to die here, and yes, he does indeed die with that beautiful Seraphim comm explosion. He is gone, and I guess now would be the time to point it out. There are no Aeon in this match, so I am not biased for either side for the first time in a while. We do, of course, have the death here. There was no full share enabled, so that is going to be Kavat being taken out, and his teammates are going to have to fill that void, or it's going to be a very, very quick demise for the northern team. But in more positive news for the northern team, over here on the west side, MSG, we haven't talked about him very much, but he has started to just pile drive his way through the red Cybran Kronos, and Kronos now having struggles dealing with all of this spam coming out from him. Between the Zooies and the naval presence, he's managing to gain a lot of ground. We'll have to see if the assistance now coming out from Arcant can help him or not. And we do have a tactical missile launcher over here out from Pineapples. It's been alive for a little bit, 5 kills and counting. It's managing to kill off naval factories. I think it may have even gotten some economy. I'm not 100% sure because it's kind of difficult to tell when it gets economy if you're not looking. These players rebuilding it so fast, as this is a relatively high-rated game. Over here in the middle, Kybran now under pressure from the large amounts of T1 spam against him. He has T2 on the comm, and he's managed to get a Cerberus turret up just a bit further down the coast, so he's probably pretty safe right here. Might want to use that T2 upgrade to get some more static defense. Of course, he is Cybran, so he cannot get the T2 upgrade and then use that to get gun. He's unfortunately just going to be stuck with T2. He does not have the option of gun unless he's going to go Mazer, in which case I have more questions. Like, one, how are you going to afford that? You have a lot of T1 power generators, but not that many. We have a lot of Corsairs now out from Kronos, being used to try and fight off some opposing air units, and can also be used for some raiding or a possible snipe attempt very soon. As the game calms down a little bit, we have constant raiding coming out from MSG, but it's really not amounting to much. These Zooies occasionally killing off a naval unit, plus the help of these two Sao-Isl submarines doing quite well at dealing with the frigates. Does look like Kronos is going to be completely forced off of both the island and out of the water, so he's going to have to come up with a solution for this relatively quick. It is Seraphim, and once he has naval control, you can bet your ass that he is about to start getting to T2 and spamming out those cruisers with those Seraphim mobile missiles, going to be devastating to the opposing team. The tactical missile launcher was reclaimed after its usefulness has faded, but did manage to set back the Southern team over here in the naval game. So Southern team doing horribly on Navy, but on the ground still doing quite well. We have Naya over here trying to push into the area that was formerly Kavat's, and it does look like Kybran has managed to hold out at least for now. We have our Pink player here, Demon Streamer, coming forward and starting to build up his own defenses and his own kind of infrastructure over here, trying to grab these mass extractors back. Pineapples, we haven't really been watching it, but all of the land spam has come in and kind of just destroyed his entire base over here, so now he's kind of migrating down to this southern island, along with Demon Streamer holding a large chunk of that, upgrading mexes down here because he can't really afford anything without upgraded mexes. He even has a lot of them in the water to T2 already. And the naval efforts from Kronos have been thwarted. He is being knocked out of the water. He has been knocked out of the water and off of the island. So he's now starting to build some static defense to try and deal with whatever may come out from the Orange Seraphim MSG. We have an air battle going on over here between the ASF and the ASF and a couple interceptors of both teams. It looks like the South team is going to win, but it's a Pyrrhic victory, as you're going to go down to two very badly bruised ASF versus 0. But 2 is still better than none. It's literally 200. It's infinitely better than none. But still, Raider, I'm sure, wishing he had won that a little bit harder. And it's still looking relatively dire for this northern team, but they're stabilizing. They're managing to hold off the aggression from the land side. All of these structures being built up by Kybran, really helping out the team. But I don't know how much longer Kybran's going to be able to afford to build enough to stop this, because Ilshivas trade pretty well with Cerberus. Cerberus not quite able to take down the Ilshivas like the other point defense are, so these Ilshivas just going to push in and start killing off all of the Cerberus, and the Zapper tactical missile defense going to be very difficult to deal with. In the middle over here we have another tactical missile battery up for the southern team this time. It's going to be a... Has it fired yet? No, it hasn't. It's going to be a TML4. It's going to be coming out from the player Arkan, and that's going to be extremely useful, assuming it can find decent connections. Ilshiva is still pushing in towards the base of Kybran. Kybran in a difficult position now, as he's getting pushed back to his main base. He has T2, but he just doesn't have the eco to really capitalize on it. Lieutenant General Fluffy being extremely effective with his ground game this game, managing to get that gun comm up to kill off Kavat, and now he has a bunch of Ilshivas pushing in towards the base of Kybran. It's going to be difficult to deal with, to say the least. We have two players on the northern team, on Team 1, who are managing to get up some ASF, so it looks like there might be an ASF advantage here soon for Team 1, assuming both of them focus on it. But at this point, it's kind of looking like Team 1 needs to focus on getting themselves a snipe of some form. It doesn't even really matter who you snipe, as long as it isn't one of the naval players, you're kind of good. Everybody else on the team performing extremely well for Team 2. Team 1 having great luck in the naval battles on both sides, but not quite able to pull it together on the ground front, as Kavat dying left a hole that's just kind of been unable to be filled. Pineapple now on the mainland trying to build up T2 PD to deal with all of these Zooies. At this point, it's better to just get gun on your comm and clear them out the old-fashioned way by just shooting them. But instead, opting to build the T1 PD to try and help deal with the Zooies, building them very close to the Zooies so that way they can't fire on them. We also have some Renegades showing up, but we can see that Pineapple putting a lot of effort into reclaiming his former base. We also have gun speed and range and tactical missile finished up for Naya, so we're going to have to keep an eye on if that tactical missile can be extremely useful. The tactical missile over here out from Arkan is not being as useful as he maybe would have hoped it would be, and the entire base of Kybran has just been destroyed. He has almost no eco left. He's down to 19 mass a second, the lowest in the game. Only player even somewhat close to him is his teammate Pineapples, who's been forced off of his own base, and that just means that the game kind of is in the hands of MSG, Crusher, and Demon Streamer. They're the only players left on Team 1 with any kind of ability to combat the enemy. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. We have a lot of Corsairs now forming up for Demon Streamer, looking like he's going for a snipe. He needs to find a good snipe target, but that being said, there's a lot of Corsairs also built up for Kronos. Kronos could also go for a snipe. If he sniped MSG, that would be brutal, but MSG is under the water. Underwater. He's below the tides. And he's going to be staying safe from at least a Corsair snipe. Now, if you get back to me with some kind of torpedo bomber snipe, I will admit that could be useful. We now have cruisers. Our first cruiser now built for MSG. He's going to be able to start throwing these cruisers into places that Team 1 does not, or Team 2 does not much so like. And this could be an avenue for Team 1 to get back into it if he can manage to cripple one or two of the players, or mainly I'm talking about crippling somebody like Arkant or Lieutenant General Fluffy with this mobile missile spam. That would pay dividends for his team at large. The more economy he can manage to take out with this, the better. I don't think focusing on the Cerberus is the best idea here. The Zapper's already being queued up. Sorry about that. Had that sneeze. It was creeping on me for a long time. Alright, it looks like the Corsairs out from Demon Streamer may be moving out, or they might just be trying to shoot down some intel. But this could spell disaster. I'm trying to look for comms that are kind of under threat. Naya might be a snipe option. I'm not sure if these two flak will be enough. Maybe if he dodges everything. But the snipe does seem to be coming out. No, it's not a snipe. He's going to be using them as a base defense option, killing off Ilshavas with the Corsairs relatively effectively too. He's managed to kill off quite a few Ilshavas with just that one pass, and he's going to come around for another. The ASFs from Hunter, or from Raider, not Hunter. Hunter was the last cast. Can you tell I'm doing these back to back? From Raider, not responding, as he does not want to give up his air advantage. I don't even know if he has an air advantage. Looking at Crusher, we have 30 ASF versus Raider sitting at 35, and then we also have to take into account Demon Streamer has his own ASF, 13. So a slight air advantage for Team 1 if they both get involved in the fight. But Demon Streamer also sitting on a healthy number of Corsair. That's 16 Corsairs. That could be a threat over on to any of the comms that aren't under shields. Naya now building a shield. The only comm that's sticking out to me as a good snipe option is Arkant at the moment. And Arkant may not be a player you want to snipe. He is, of course, the lowest rated player on Team 2, which is saying something considering he's 1200, and that's about my level of play. So if you think I'm at least decent at the game, then that shows you the level of play out of all of these players in this game. The Corsairs moving out again. I'm going to go ahead and do a tracking move on them, because this time it seems like a little bit more than just moving out to attack something that's attacking them. Let's go ahead and Control V on top of them. A lot of them are bruised, but that doesn't matter as long as they get their payload off. Now moving towards the base of, well, Arkant or Lieutenant General Fluffy, both moving in towards the bases of the Southern team. Looks like they're locked on to the comm of Arkant. Is this going to be a kill? The rockets start flying out of these Corsairs, and that's a kill down onto Arkant, and that's going to be the first ejection over here for the Southern team. For Team 2, Arkant goes down in a ball of fire, and now there's a large air engagement kicking off between the ASFs of Crusher and Raider. I think that Crusher should win this. I think he does. Oh wait, no, the ASF of Demon Streamer aren't out here. So there's just a slight ASF advantage out here for, whoa, Raider is taking kind of bad turns, but right here at the end, the turns are beautiful. And all of Crusher's ASF go down, and that's the end of Crusher and his air squadrons. A large Corsair attempt also coming out from the likes of Team 2, saying 2 can play at that game, but this time Kyburn's going to go for a dodge, and Kyburn's going to dodge almost all of it as ASFs and interceptors come in and are able to kill off. Oh, they also flew over a flag, which doesn't help. He managed to win that. Raider asking for T3 Cybran, possibly to help bolster his ASF production. And it looks like Raider also is confused on how he won that. It was just 2 beautiful turns that got him the win in that air fight. It was looking really bad for him, but then he got 2 turns where he was firing and the ASF of Crusher weren't. And that's enough when you have low numbers to just kind of win it. Down here in the southeast, there is a Salem being killed off by Mantis, which is a funny sentence. But this Navy air, this little river, pond, whatever you want to call it, is starting to falter for Team 1. Team 1 had a good control of it for most of the game, but with Pineapples being kind of knocked down a peg, they're not able to hold on to it. MSG still the shining bright spot of Team 1, still just absolutely winning on all accounts. We also, of course, have Demon Streamer and Crusher, who did a very nice play to get a kill, but they still need to capitalize on this. If they do not try and stop the enemies from just rebuilding up this area, they're going to be in the same position they were in just not so long ago, and maybe even worse, because Lieutenant General Fluffy is grabbing this up extremely quickly, and he's going to be able to get all of these mexes to T2 and possibly T3 very, very fast. Getting Nano Repair on the comm right now. And these Seraphim cruisers are kind of just firing in vain at this large zapper line out from Kronos. Kronos managing to put on quite the stalwart defense. We also have Othams out from Lieutenant General Fluffy starting to make their way into the water. They were getting killed off by cruisers in the comm of MSG, who has 4 vet, managing to get a lot of kills with that commander. And MSG now expanding, trying to stop his opponents from taking over this area. MSG just trying to take control and own the northern side of the map. And over here, Kybran with a fire base of fire bases. He has a lot of PD here. Is trying to defend off the Ilshivas once again. Still not quite able to throw together enough units to fight off Lieutenant General Fluffy, who is just constantly sending in raiding parties. These Ilshivas are probably going to be able to be cleaned up, especially considering I'm pretty sure there's a few gunships laying around for somebody. But the question is, at what cost? At what cost is Kybran paying for just simply not prioritizing producing units? Kybran is a much better... Well, no, Kybran isn't a better player than me. He's also 1200 rated. Yeah, units are so much better than structures. In every sense of the word. They will trade more efficiently than structures with other units. Static defense. The way I look at static defense now is static defense is not there to kill your opponent unless it's standoff tactics. And that's not static defense, that's static offense. Static defense is there to buy time for your better units, for your units, the ones that move, that do a lot more damage and honestly can take a lot more hits. It's to buy time for those more cost-effective investments to show up and kill off your opponent, or to give them an advantage in battle. They're not something that you're supposed to be using to protect large swaths of yourself. They're not going to be able to just stand up to a very well-funded army out from your opponent. We have a ton of Othams now making their way towards the water. The Othams do have torpedoes, so very technically can attack the cruisers, but they're not good. Where are these Othams going? I guess they may be trying to get a beat on attacking Kybran, but I don't think you need to attack Kybran anymore. Kybran's kind of a non-factor, kind of like Pineapple. He's not having a large impact on this game anymore. We have a ton of bricks now out from Demon Streamer, trying to push Naya off of this forward position. If they could manage to get in and kill off Naya, though, that would be huge. And Naya just gifted his entire base over to Raider. Nah, I need to go. Sent all of his units to Raider and is now going to start falling back with the commander. So Naya had to peace out. And, yeah, that's going to be Naya leaving. And he's going to send his comm back down south, which is an option. yeah, he's sending it way back here towards, well, just kind of an open field. But that could open up an opportunity if Team 1 does see, well, they don't really have anything for a snipe except for these torpedo bombers. Could go for a torpedo bomb snipe, but that's 20,000 HP, and it's not going to be in the water for all too terribly long. MSG saying I can't stop that. I think he's speaking about these Othams, which are about to make landfall against him, and his entire power grid is right here. He has almost no power built anywhere else except for up here, but that's not a significant enough amount. So this is going to be devastating. It's going to immediately cripple his economy, and as we just go ahead and click on MSG, we can see his power is about to be crippled. It just takes, if he kills these last two T2 pigeons, that is going to be MSG in a massive power stall. And it looks like that might just be happening. Oh, is it going to happen? The Othams need to focus fire on important structures. A lot of Stingers showing up now for Crusher to try and help deal with this. We have a couple of Othams in the back that could fire on that pigeon still. Down to 500 power a second, so if he loses this, he won't be power stalling, but he'll be damn close. It's going to be really painful for his power budget, as he also loses some mass extractors, going down to only 120 mass a second, which isn't horrible, but it isn't great. Whenever you're this far into the game and you have people like Raider sitting on 500, or no, on 387, Demon Streamer sitting on 171, never mind, his team's doing alright, but it could be a lot better. You also have, yeah, just Raider right now running away with the economy, up to 400 mass a second since we last checked in. And he's building an Awasa, which is a interesting option. I mean, is he that confident he has air control? Because right now, Crusher is sporting a mean air force of exactly 100 ASF. Demon Streamer sitting on another about 50, 45, 44 plus 1 out of fuel. And Raider, I don't think you have enough ASF for this. No, he just doesn't. He is just definitively behind on ASF. Now, maybe this will give him air control, but this Awasa is not going to be able to be used aggressively by any sense of the word. Like, you won't be able, if you send this out, it dies immediately. This is enough ASF to just kind of insta-gib it. So he needs to be careful with this Awasa. It's a big investment, and if he drops that much reclaim on his opponents, it's a high enough level game, it will be used. A nuke now on the way for Crusher. MSG quickly working to reclaim and rebuild his destroyed infrastructure. Lieutenant General Fluffy, yet again, still getting in here with very nice raids. I don't know if this was worth it, because each of those Otham wrecks 600 mass. Yeah, maybe a little bit. He killed off a lot of stuff. He killed off a lot of T2 power, a lot of economy. So maybe it was worth it, but I'm just not sure. We have a chicken about to complete for Lieutenant General Fluffy, and if he can get that in over here, that would be absolutely brutal. Alright, do you want the ASF or should I? Yeah, I'll take them. Okay. Heya now sending his ASFs, gifting them over to Raider. Let's see how much that means. He's about to the point where he can maybe contest air control. It's questionable. All of the ASFs from Demon Streamer also gifted over, but still, it's a 30 to 40 ASF advantage for Crusher over Raider. A large air battle about to take place. Get ready, because we're about to lose all of our frames as these air units go at it. I can't tell you who's winning, but it is very fun to watch, isn't it? Alright, these trades going however they're going. It looks like there was a nice turn out there from Raider. You can kind of tell, since he's the only one with Seraphim ASF. If it's a Cybern ASF, you can't really tell whatsoever. If it's UEF, you know it's Crusher. But a lot of ASF going down, and that's definitely a Crusher victory. And Crusher manages to come out of that trade almost. Oh my, he has over 100 ASFs on his opponent. Stop fighting when I'm not paying attention, jerk. Oh, that trade went horribly for Raider. Crusher getting a massive advantage. Nice to see the banter coming out. Crusher with the crushed. And Raider, stop fighting when I'm not paying attention, jerk. Monkey Lord finished up for Demon Streamer, but there is, of course, a chicken. And I don't think I need to tell you who wins that engagement. Maybe if the Monkey Lord spawned behind the chicken and within range for the laser, maybe the Monkey Lord could win that. And that's a maybe. That's not even a solid, like, oh yeah, that's a win. These cruisers have been severely disappointing. Not going to lie. Have not managed to do very much whatsoever. A bomb was... Oh, that wasn't a bomb. That was an artillery shot. The Awasa about to be hunted down by the ASF. And, that will be troublesome. Pineapples died at some point and I didn't catch it. Pineapples was over here and died, and I just did not notice. I don't know when that happened, but it did happen. Sorry for missing that. Oh man, this northern team in a rough position. The Monkey Lord over here using its kind of long-range little shooty guns on the front to get some damage down onto the Authams. Not quite brave enough to bring that microwave laser to bear, though. Torpedo bombers coming in, trying to hit the sirens, but unfortunately all they seem to be doing is hitting a cliff. One torpedo managed to hit that siren. Oh, another one. That was a worthy investment. The bomber coming in, gonna be trying to get some critical damage done. Demon Streamer possibly under threat. Is the bomber gonna be enough? Is the wreck of the bomber gonna be enough? Nope, it's not. Demon Streamer down to 5,000 HP, which is just gonna kind of be unfortunate. He's gonna survive. He's gonna have this giant mass donation out from Raider to help him out. If only I knew how to crash it. He's trying to crash it onto the comm of Demon Streamer, but couldn't manage it. Now we have a Monkey Lord coming in. Going to be killing off some Authams, and is going to be fighting against unbelievable odds. The chicken is over here, so it still has a chance, but there's a bunch of gunships coming in, and Authams themselves can kill a chicken. And I think there's enough here to kill a chicken. Or, can kill a Monkey Lord, not a chicken. So that's a dead Monkey Lord. So mass donations going back and forth. We have Demon Streamer getting mass donated by Raider. And we have Demon Streamer donating mass to the cause of Raider. Actually, Raider and Demon Streamer trading mass. I think that Demon Streamer still wins out on that one because he got 38,000 mass and only gave 15,000. The chicken now coming in to threaten Demon Streamer. He doesn't really have the units to combat this chicken just walking into his base. Yeah, that's gonna be a GG, right? Demon Streamer going down. I don't see how MSG and Crusher can win this unless this nuke goes off and gets some critical damage, but I'm sure there's an anti-nuke, isn't there? Yeah, Kronos and Raider managed to build an anti-nuke way back here in the back, and there might even be one more forward. Yeah, there is one built by Lieutenant General Fluffy. Yeah, overall that nuke's not gonna do nothing.
Strategic launch detected.
Launched back here. This one is indeed loaded. Just finished loading. That's going to be the end of it. The chicken kills off Demon Streamer. And the chicken continues to march forward. It's gonna eventually die to all these T1 bombers, but I'm unsure if that is enough. I think the chicken's dead now, as all of the bombers stop moving. That Ion Deathstorm going to continue to deal damage to everything around it. And anti-nuke fired, and that anti-nuke came from the forward one. Wait, did he bait out two? Oh, he almost baited out two with one shot. That would have been funny. So it's kind of a bad position. Crusher is Crusher and MSG have to pull off a miracle at this point. There are some units out from Kybran, who has been kind of quiet for a little while, trying to come over and help. Let's go ahead and speed up. There's a Monkey Lord over here to stop these bricks from doing anything particularly useful, but unless Team 1 gives me a reason to think that this game is not going to end relatively soon, I guess I'm going to just kind of speed it up and see what happens. It looks like an air engagement is brooding over here. Crusher coming in and getting behind the ASF of Raider immediately, and more ASF are going to be coming up out from Heya. But now he's stuck in a situation. If he turns around, he's going to get chased down, and now he's in a large air battle. But this time, I think Raider might have enough. Does he have enough? It looks like Crusher is taking good turns yet again. He's been doing very well with these air engagements, and it looks like Crusher is going to get yet another air victory. And this could open it up. We're getting to that stage of the game where you kind of just go for snipes. You have to go for some snipes. That's his only point left. Naya, just an update. He's still very technically alive. And now he's launching missiles. What is this missile being launched at? I guess it was this mass extractor, but he's just launching missiles consistently. Can you set missiles to auto-launch? What? I'm very confused now. Can you set missiles to auto-launch? I don't know how. If Naya is actually gone, that's impressive. He queued up a lot of missile launches. But those bricks in combination with these battleships have managed to start pushing back. So now these cruisers, which have been very underwhelming, let's be honest, finally have a chance to start like getting real damage done. And this is a danger. MSG is starting to give us a reason why Team 1 might have a chance still in this game. But there's a ton of Othams out from Raider that are about to just be rolling into the base of Crusher. Crusher gained air superiority again, but he's just gonna have to build a bunch of gunships, I guess. MSG now getting quite the economy behind himself, up to 400 mass a second, and having power issues. Raider at a massive economy as well. Nobody going for any like exceptionally late game strats. I'm not seeing any artillery or anything cheesy like that going on. Large T1 bomber force coming in and going to be able to kill off the air grid. These T1 bombers built to kill that Yathoda might be able to kill off the air grid of Kronos, and yes, that is going to be the case, and that is significantly, that's super significant. That's one less set of factories making ASFs, and air has been the only point that Team 1 has had any kind of dog in the game other than this Northern Navy, which this Northern Navy also doing well. If this happened 5 or 10 minutes ago, this would be huge. But right now, they're still looking down the barrel of Raider, who is just threatening to end this game with this Otham push right now. There's not a great answer to it at the moment. I guess there's a lot of triads being built up by Crusher, but Othams deal with triads quite well. T3 Mass Extractor going to be going down. I don't think Crusher particularly cares that he is sitting on a massive economy plus a ton of reclaim. MSG has built another experimental unit, which is where exactly? I'm not sure. 2 chickens, one from Lieutenant General Fluffy, one from Raider, making their way north towards the navies. Did MSG build a experimental unit? Yes, he did. It was this chicken over here. Okay. Naya getting splash on the comm, so that's interesting. Heya has built an experimental unit. He built a Monkey Lord? Question mark? He has a bug over there, but I don't know where he built his experimental unit. It's not super important. This nuke has a snowflake's chance in hell of actually doing damage. Other than maybe killing off Lieutenant General Fluffy's attack, but the Othams are getting into the base of Crusher. As I said, this Otham push was scary in the beginning, and it's still scary. Where is the nuke going? It's going right here. It's gonna go for Lieutenant General Fluffy, I think. Maybe? Yep, it is. But Lieutenant General Fluffy has done his part. He's managed to get a lot. He got his team a momentum advantage in the beginning, and he's managed to hold on to it and keep it going this entire time. The Othams are petering out, but not after killing the air grid, so... Or not before killing the air grid. Kybran, who has been holding out valiantly for a long-ass time, is gonna die. Yeah, this game's over. It's over. It's super duper over. I'll be surprised if we don't see a Control K or two here soon. Yathoda coming into the base of Crusher. I don't even know where Crusher's comm is. Awasa coming in. There's the comm of Crusher. He's dead. Where is the comm of Kybran? Probably in the water somewhere. The comm of Kybran over here. The comm of MSG over here. They're dead, right? They are 100% bona fide dead. There's no way, no how that they survive all this. Another chicken has completed. I mean, I guess they might have a chance of a bunch of chickens. That chicken's dead. Of Navy, oh wait, the Navy's over here. You can't really do much. Of Zooies, no, that's not gonna do much either. We have another Monkey Lord completing. Here was the Monkey Lord that completed earlier. No idea where it was built. Guess it was built where these ones are being built. Awasa dropping a bomb, killing everything but the battleships. MSG still valiantly trying, but his base is going to shambles and his game is lost. Alright, let's speed this up. Let's get it over with. Here we come. Awasa gonna drop a bomb right on top of his Yathoda factory. Or not. That's the weirdest Awasa drop I've seen in a while. Kinda just like stops right there and then just like, just lob it out the side window! It'll be okay. Okay, MSG. One more pass and he's dead, or the bug can kill him, or Naya with the teleport splash comm. This is a bit weird. Not gonna lie, a little bit weird. Bugs are my only friend. Naya dies via Control K, Raider kills MSG, and the likes of Kybran survive the longest. Thank you all for watching. If you liked it, then like. If you want to see more, subscribe. Thank you for joining me for this week, where I've had a whole bunch of uploads, and we're going to have more throughout the week. And you're beautiful. I will see you in the next one. Thank you to my patrons, Timothy Calderwood, Sergeant Syphilis, Icy Nightmare, Mutant Gene Pool, Idle Betazoid, and Nogthar.